di nostra vita, tu sei la stella fra le tempeste, te guidi il cuore di chi ti invoca, madre d'amore. Siamo peccatori, ma figli tuoi, immacolata, prega per noi. Siamo
A reading from the book of Numbers, chapter 6, from verse 22 to 27. The Lord commanded Moses to tell Aaron and his sons to use the following words in blessing the people of Israel. May the Lord bless you and take care of you. May the Lord be kind and gracious to you. May the Lord look on you with favor and give you peace. And the Lord said, if they pronounce my name as a blessing upon the people of Israel, I will bless them. The word of the Lord. A reading from St. Paul's letter to the people of Galatians, chapter 4, from verse 4 to 7. But when the right time finally came, God sent his own Son. He came as the son of a human mother and lived under the Jewish law to redeem those who were under the law, so that we might become sons of God. To show that you are his sons, God sent the Spirit of his Son into your hearts, the Spirit who cries out, Father, my Father. So then, you are no longer a slave, but a son. And since you are his son, God will give you all that he has for his sons. The word of the Lord. The Gospel according to St. Luke. So they hurried off and found Mary and Joseph and saw the baby lying in the manger. When the shepherds saw him, they told them what the angel had said about the child. All who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds said. Mary remembered all these things and thought deeply about them. The shepherds went back singing praises to God for all they had heard and seen. It had been just as the angel had told them. A week later, when the time came for the baby to be circumcised, he was named Jesus, the name which the angel had given him before he had been conceived. The Gospel of the Lord. Happy New Year, everyone. It is not by mistake that the year has started on the note of blessing. The first reading talks about how Aaron and his sons, being priests, should bless the people of God. We all know the people of Israel as a special kind of people, a peculiar nation. a royal priesthood. The people that can boldly call themselves the children of God. And so, God instructed Moses to instruct the sons of Aaron, and Aaron himself being the priest, to bless the people in a special way. Why this blessing? Let us take a retrospect at the previous year. What has been the experience of this previous year? If you take retrospect, you might encounter one or two people that will tell you about some negative experiences that they had in 2018. Experiences that each time they remember, they would be confused. What is it that brought about all this? And then they begin to think probably God is not with them. A kind of situation that can be related to the kind of situation that the people of Israel usually find themselves whenever God is not with them. For example, in the time of Gideon, when God had abandoned the people because of their sins, they were under captivity. They were oppressed by their enemies. They were always defeated in battles. Compare that to your experiences in the previous year. How you must have gone through some unpalatable situations that show that God is not on your side, that has opened you up, made you vulnerable to the enemy's attacks, and made you to always lose the battles, and has put you always at the defensive, has made life frustrating. And that year has passed. Just like God told the people of Israel when they were about to cross the Red Sea. He said through Moses, "The Egyptians you see today, you shall see them no more." And in the same way, crossing over from 2018 into 2019, this blessed note is what the church is using to let us know that we have turned a new leaf. We are on a brighter chapter of our lives. That it shall be a different ball game altogether. But what is the root of this difference? The root of the difference in this ball game? What is it that makes it different, or that makes this year different from last year? It is simply the freedom. The freedom from slavery. And what kind of slavery could it be? Slavery to sin. Man was made slave to sin from the time of Adam, the original sin that brought the fall of man. And from then, he has been under captivity. his will was dented, and he could no longer soar like the angels did. He was made purer than angels, but his sin made him to fall below that glory. And then he became slave to sin. But with the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ into the world, man was to be redeemed. An author said that Jesus, the Son of God, being God himself, he came to become man, that we, being men, might become the sons of God. And that is the bone of contention, the very core of today's reflection. Our transfiguration from the figure of slavery to the figure of sonship. That now that we are no longer slaves to sin, we are now sons of righteousness. And the Bible says that now that we are redeemed, our gaze should be on things above and not beneath. Meaning that we that have turned a new leaf, that have entered this year on the note of blessing, knowing that this blessing is not just an open blessing, but rather one that is specially reserved for sons. And the second reading says, you are no longer slaves, but sons of God. And as sons of God, God will henceforth give you things that are reserved for sons. Refer back or reflect on the past things that happened in 2018, the difficulties, the difficult moments. God is telling you that the Egyptians you saw in 2018, you shall see them no more. 2018 has passed with its own slavery. But here comes 2019 with the hope, not just the hope, but the declaration of sonship, the declaration of freedom. That declaration has two aspects to it. One being our effort and the other God's grace. Nevertheless, it is God's grace that supersedes, because it is not by our own intention that we become free. It's not by our own efforts that we become free. It is purely by God's divine grace. It pleases God to declare us free. It pleases God to announce our freedom. Isaiah said, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, for he has anointed me to declare the year of the Lord." And what is the year of the Lord? It simply means the year of Jubilee, a year of freedom, a year when slaves are declared free. And this is that year of Jubilee, that year in which you have been declared free. As the second reading said, you are no longer slaves, but sons. And because ye are sons, you have the boldness to call God Abba, Father. The most touching thing that you should have as an expectation this year, 2019, is that the concluding part of the second reading, that as sons, you will henceforth receive things that are reserved for sons. Therefore, in this year 2019, expect breakthroughs, expect miracles, expect prosperity, expect goodness and mercies. Places you went to and there was difficulties will henceforth show up to be easy, and you'll be well accepted. Why? Because the grace and favor of God that is reserved specially for sons. So the blessings in Numbers shows that this year is a special year. It has started on a blessed note, and not just anyhow blessing, but a special kind of blessing reserved for the sons, not for slaves to sin, but sons of righteousness. Therefore, we should make efforts, just like St. Paul admonishes, that now that we are freed, our gaze should be on things above, not beneath. And that is the effort we should make, to look up to Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. Recall the people in the desert when the snake was biting them, and Moses made a brazen serpent and told them to look up to that. But some felt reluctant to do so, and they died for their disobedience. Now the Bible is saying, today if you hear his voice, do not harden your heart. So Christ has been raised up like that brazen serpent in the desert, and we are called upon to look up unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, the source of our sonship, the source of our freedom, the declarer of our year of freedom, that we might participate in the sonship that he has restored unto us, which of course we were meant to be, but we lost through the original sin of Adam. But now that restoration has been given to mankind. But then your effort to look up to Jesus and believe in him is all that is required. Peace be unto you.
Guidi il cuore di chi ti invoca, Madre d'amore. Siamo peccatori, ma figli tuoi, Immacolata, prega per noi. di nostra vita, tu sei la stella fra le tempeste, de guidi il cuore di chi ti invoca, madre d'amore. Siamo peccatori, ma figli